A raft drifts under me on the frigid sea like a single leaf bobbing in the swell, and a gust of wind so cold it makes my spine lock jolts me awake. I open my eyes slowly, confirm that I really am lying on a raft with nothing but a salvage net and a fishing rod beside me, and look out at a horizon crowded with ice floes and seabirds diving at the waterline. The only thought my brain can produce is a dazed run of questions. Where am I? What am I doing here? How did I end up on this thing? Because the last thing I remember is pulling an all-nighter at my desk at home, hunched over yet another grind mill chapter for the novel website I had been scraping by on for 2.5 years. I was a failed author living off nothing but the full attendance bonus, working like a production team donkey so my reader daddies in the comment section could keep enjoying their daily 10,000-word update. And somewhere between one sentence and the next my eyes closed, and now I have evidently opened them in another world. A cold, electronic voice speaks without warning, and I look down at my left wrist to find a blue bracelet fastened there, welcoming me as a chosen one to the ICC survival world, warning me to forget everything about civilization because it no longer matters, telling me what I must do is grow stronger and survive, and wishing me luck. Tens of billions of people transmigrated at once is absurd on its face, but I accept the fact and open the bracelet anyway. A semi-transparent screen unfolds with 5 modules: survival manual, personal information, crafting table, communication channel, trade platform, and I tap into the manual first. It tells me the raft beneath my feet is the foundation of my life, and I should treat it like my wife, that wood upgrades it and can add a house, that nights are lethally cold and I need campfire and quilt before then, that the salvage net drags ice floes off the surface with supplies and weapons inside, and that melted ice is my fresh water, that the fishing rod pulls materials, edible fish, but also treasure boxes and absurdities like overalls or whole chickens or basketballs, out of the sea, and that the water is full of violent sea beasts, sharks chief among them, and that I should expand the raft to the maximum to resist their attacks. Personal information lists me as Jinpeng with 0 psionic energy and a rank 0 physique. Psionic energy comes from beast cores taken off sea beasts, upgrades my physique, and evolves beast pets. The communication channel turns out to be a global chat. 10 billion world population, just me within a 10-kilometer radius. Coordinates 550, 865, and the chat is already a zoo. People screaming about sharks circling their rafts, couples crying for each other, the inevitable crowd of show-offs and singles, someone smugly asking why nobody has a system or Goldfinger yet, someone else declaring she will gladly be the fiancé of any lucky man who's bound a system. Someone claims to have fished up a chicken, and that settles it. The manual wasn't exaggerating and I need to move. I'm about to start salvaging ice when a cold voice drops into my head without warning, announcing that the Ocean Overlord System is activating and binding to host. I catch myself grinning, of course I'm the protagonist, and ask what it does. To help the host become the Ocean Overlord, it says, with daily signing rewards that grow with streaks, weekly and monthly bonuses on top. A newbie gift pack arrives on the next breath, and I use it without hesitation. A survival gift pack, 10 Tier 1 beast cores, and a Tier 1 beast pet, Jiao Shark. The pack and 10 blue gems land in my hands at the same instant that 2 meters and several hundred kilograms of shark pounce into my arms, and I feel my ribs grind as the thing rubs its head against my chest like a little wife. The panel lists her as Jiao Shark, Tier 1 sea beast, no skills, the most common sea beast in the ocean. Teeth sharp, nose keen for blood. Glutton, gentle and curious. Suitable for steaming, braising, or grilling, with a side note that my own scent is making her drool, and a reminder that once a sea beast becomes a beast pet, it becomes a loyal little licker dog that will not harm its master. She addresses me as master and asks whether I'm moved, promising to fetch fish and drift ice and fight any sea beast that attacks me, and I tell her with a cold sweat on my forehead that I don't dare move, that she nearly crushed me coming in, and to please get off before my back snaps. She hums an O and slides into the water, circling the raft excitedly. I catch my breath, inspect the survival gift pack, 100 wood, 50 stone, 5 iron ingots, a 5-pronged trident, 1 backpack, exquisite grade trident with 100 durability, and almost sink the raft under the pile before stuffing most of it into the backpack, which behaves like a space ring with 10 stored types but infinite count per type. I exchange all 10 Tier 1 beast cores at 20 psionic energy each for 200 points. And although I could evolve the Jiao Shark, I spend the 100 points on physique instead, because the cold is already cutting to bone even at noon. Physique strengthening obtained. Tier 1 physique. Warmth floods my body instantly, and I realize I could handle sub-zero temperatures now, though not the minus 40 or 50 nights the manual warned about. Then I remember the daily check-in. Check-in successful. Obtained. 5 steamed buns, 10 small sea fish, 5 Tier 1 beast cores, 1 Tier 1 beast pet Jiao Shark. I barely have time to cry out before the second shark materializes in my arms on a flash of light, but my strengthened body catches her this time and I pitch her into the sea. 300 or 400 kilos, and I grumble that only my upgraded physique saved me from being flattened. This one is male, and the moment he spots the female, his eyes turn to hearts, and he starts circling her like a dog at a bone. I realize I need to name them before things get chaotic. looking at the female eating a fish she's just caught. I christen her Shark Eagle, a name meant to carry the ferocity of a raptor. She stares blankly up at me and asks, almost mechanically, whether she's being insulted, and I tell her firmly that her feeling is wrong. Then, turning to the male with his overlong fins, I declare that since a fin is like a shark's arm, he shall be Shark Arm, my crouching dragon and fledgling phoenix, Shark Eagle and Shark Arm. Shark Arm blinks up at me with those big dull eyes and asks whether we can change the name, because Shark Arm sounds terrible, and I refuse. It's a great name, I say, and when he turns to Shark Eagle for backup, she just tells him it sounds fine. So he decides that if she likes it, he likes it, and squeals from now on I'm Shark Arm. Simp, I think, a disgrace to sharks, but I only roll my eyes and send them out with the order to push every nearby ice floe to me, because salvaging ice alone would be too slow. While they're away, I feed the 5 sign-in Tier 1 Beast Cores into psionic energy for 100 more points, and admire my updated panel, 200 psionic energy, Tier 1 physique, 2 Jiao Shark pets. Evolving them matters more than another physique upgrade. They fight in water and I don't, and they'll be my front line if any wild sea beast attacks. Shark Eagle returns pushing 5 ice floes, preens for praise, and I tell her she's been obedient as I reach to pat her head. She rubs her forehead against me like a little simp, and I use Evolve Beast Pet without warning. A ball of light leaves the bracelet, sinks into her body, and she doubles in length on the spot, from 2 meters to 4, from a few hundred kilos to well over a ton. Tier 2 Beast Pet Jiao Shark. She roars skyward, revealing dozens of sharpened fangs, and tells me she feels full of power. It's a pity it was over in seconds, she says. And could we do it again, Master? No, I tell her. I'm out of psionic energy and can't evolve anything else right now. Ah, already unable, she says mock disappointedly, and I roll my eyes at the innuendo and tell her I need beast cores. I don't have enough. She glances sideways at Shark Arm, who is just arriving with another floe, and suggests I could dig his out, which would at least spare her his harassment. I don't do it, of course, but Shark Arm arrives and gapes at her new size with hearts in his eyes, and she tells him flatly that in her eyes he's nothing but a skinny dog, and to leave her alone. He looks at me with betrayed eyes. Master, I don't want to be a skinny dog, and I just shake my head and tell him if he wants to evolve, he better hunt more sea beasts and make her reconsider. While they push more ice, I pick up the floes one by one and smash them with a fist, getting only ice cubes for most, cursing my luck, until a notification chimes with 3 small sea fish and another with a Tier 2 Beast Core. Ice floes can contain Beast Cores too, and a Tier 2 at that, worth 50 psionic energy each. 4 Tier 2 cores would be enough to bring Shark Arm up too. 13 small sea fish join my food total between the check-in, the steamed buns, and the floes. It'll be lunch and dinner. I need fire. The crafting table lists a bonfire at 5 wood and 5 stone, and I build it on the raft, stones between the flame and the wood so it won't ignite anything, and I lay 5 small sea fish beside the flame to grill. The aroma carries, and a furious roar answers it. A 2-meter shark is tearing across the water straight at me, jaws wide, eyes red with hunger. I'm not afraid. I'm excited. This is the perfect test for Shark Eagle and Shark Arm. The panel brings up the attacker. Jiao Shark, Tier 1 Sea Beast, skill bite at beginner. A quarter more tooth sharpness. Bite sounds trivial, but on a shark whose only real weapon is its teeth, it's a full quarter of extra attack. I tell Shark Eagle and Shark Arm to take it down, and they roar in unison and charge. Shark Eagle, now Tier 2, leads her partner far behind. She leaps from the water and lands on the Jiao Shark's back, biting off its dorsal fin in a single chomp. Smart. She knows his teeth are dangerous and won't clash head-on, so she shreds his dorsal, then his pectorals, then his tail, pinning his attention to her, and while he's fixated, Shark Arm dives under his belly and tears a chunk out of his abdomen. Blood clouds the water. He loses strength, and the pair finish him together in under half a minute. I am stunned. A Tier 2 really is overwhelming. They push what's left of the head to me. The bracelet announces decomposing corpse, and I collect 20 portions of Tier 1 sea beast meat, 30 sharp teeth, 1 Tier 1 beast core, and a beginner skill stone, bite, plus a system-wide announcement that I'm the first chosen one in the ice sea world to kill a Tier 1 sea beast, earning the title Sea Brave, which increases my own and my pet's combat power by 10%. A 10% stacking bonus on every pet I'll ever raise. With 100 pets, it's terrifying. With thousands, it's an army. And I love it already. The skill stone reads that either chosen ones or beast pets can learn bite for a quarter more tooth sharpness, and I prefer soft food, so I hand it to Shark Eagle. Her skill list jumps to 4/5. Wait, there's a cap? 5 skills per pet. Fine, I tell myself. I'll focus skill stone growth on Shark Arm and my future pets, and if Shark Eagle gets stuffed with beginner skills, she'll just have to cope. The sharp teeth are weapon craft material I don't need. They can go on the trade platform. The 20 portions of Tier 1 sea beast meat is more than I can eat. I'll list half on the trade platform too. Shark Eagle and Shark Arm inform me with straight faces that they didn't eat the head because it tastes awful and was left in respect for me. I thank them through gritted teeth for their conscience, mutter that they really do have a conscience, just not much, and move on. I list 10 portions of Tier 1 sea beast meat on the trade platform at 20 units of any material, each excluding ice, and post the offer in the trading channel. The channel detonates. Exclamations. Someone asking how I killed a shark. Somebody bowing in respect. Flirts offering to warm my bed. An inevitable "did you get a system cheat?" question, which I deny fast. Claiming I just ate a few Tier 2 beast cores from ice flows and hit Tier 1 physique and killed a small shark, which other chosen ones happily confirm from their own experiences, physique upgrades and streaking in the ice included. Private messages start hitting. 20 wood for 1 portion of meat. Done. 10 stone for half a portion because the buyer is starving. Done. A profit at that. Then a player offering 10 portions for 200 units claims he has something I'll want. He sends a photo of a colorful stone. Skill enhancement stone. Raises a skill by 1 tier. From beginner to intermediate. Doubling effect. Described as very rare. Perfect timing. I was worried about Shark Eagle being stuck at beginner bite and losing out later. I haggle down to 8 portions and the deal goes through, and I feed the stone straight to Shark Eagle. Her bite jumps to intermediate, 100% tooth sharpness. Her attack has doubled. I message the seller to ask how he got the stone. He says he fished up an iron chest, the lowest of the chest tiers. Iron, bronze, silver, gold, purple gold, and pulled the skill stone out of it along with wood and stone. His luck was god tier. Maybe I should fish more. I trade 2 more portions of meat for 20 linen rope and 20 hay, convert the freshly scavenged Tier 2 core and the new Tier 1 into psionic energy, and sit down with 5 small sea fish, 2 steamed buns, and 1 portion of sea beast meat. Small fish are almost nothing without scale and bone, but the sea beast meat turns out to taste like chicken. The raft itself is still level 0, 5 meters by 5 meters, described as fragile and demanding an urgent upgrade. I have the wood. I upgrade to level 110 by 10 with real defense. With the upgrade, the raft balloons 4-fold, and I grin. 100 square meters is already bigger than the rental I had in my past life. Shark Eagle and Shark Arm come racing back in a panic, telling me sharks are coming. A pack of 5, the leader a mad shark no smaller than Shark Eagle. The bloody water from the first kill has drawn them from more than 10 kilometers out. The pets say, sharks smell blood at that range even when I can't. I smile. More fodder for Shark Eagle's new intermediate bite. The leader roars out of the water, 4 meters long and even bulkier than Shark Eagle. The panel reads Mad Shark, Tier 1, no skills, but stronger and faster than a same tier Jiao Shark, with a jab in the description about being good for the brain dead to eat, which just earns a scowl from me. The Mad Shark roars at my pets that he wants to make me his food, Shark Arm his lackey, and Shark Eagle his wife. I laugh. Dares to call my pet his wife and recruit my subordinate, and order them forward. Shark Eagle lures him under while his 4 underlings trail, then dives, circles, activates bite, teeth flaring white, doubled sharpness, plus the title's 10% for 110% combat power, and severs his tail in 1 chomp. Blood gushes, his balance collapses, and she rides her dorsal fin like a blade through his body, slicing him in half. Meanwhile, 2 Jiao Sharks are ramming my raft and rebounding as their own foreheads bump uselessly against level 1 defense. One opens wide to bite and I drive the 5-pronged trident through its eye, straight through the brain. The title boost plus Tier 1 physique makes me feel almost invincible. I almost yell who's next but keep my mouth shut because it would just pull more sharks. The second fleeing Jiao Shark tries to swim towards Shark Arm, who is tied up with the other 2, and I launch the trident like a javelin. 1-shot kill through the skull. Shark Arm is trading flesh for flesh with the remaining 2. Just as one bites for his fin, a water column from Shark Eagle's tail hurls it away. Saving him, he immediately offers her a kiss. She whips him across the face with her tail and tells him to sit aside injured while she finishes the rest, which she does in under half a minute. The sea is dyed red, and the bracelet lists my loot. 120 Tier 1 sea beast meat, 5 Tier 1 beast cores, 200 sharp teeth. That's 100 psionic energy from the cores, totaling 170, just 30 short of evolving Shark Arm. But the blood cloud here will pull the whole ocean down on me. I have to leave. Thankfully, I traded for that linen rope earlier. I synthesize the 20 lengths of rope into 2 10-meter lines, tie one end of each to Shark Eagle and Shark Arm's dorsal fins, and the other end to the raft, and tell them to pull me anywhere the stench cannot reach us. They haul, and within minutes we're gliding, while behind us the blood cloud draws in more and more sharks that devour the scraps and then each other, in a cascading frenzy. 3 hours and roughly 60 kilometers later, they report that the blood scent is gone, and I stop. The communication channel reads world population 9,999,848,653, regional population 20 within 10 kilometers, coordinates 2498-1865, 150,000 dead in barely 4 hours, and the sun is already heading west. Night is coming and the temperature will plunge. I don't have time for charity. I need a wooden house before dark. The crafting table lists a wooden house at 50 wood. I synthesize a 5x5 shelter in the center of the raft that reads a warning in its description. It shields from wind and rain and cold, but not from giant hail, lightning, or sea beasts. Giant hail that can smash car roofs. I upgraded immediately to level 1, a 6x6 box that adds resistance to hail, lightning, and low-level sea beasts, and dragged the bonfire inside. It's empty. I need a bed, mattress, pillow, quilt, pot, and bucket. I still haven't had a sip of water. I craft a wooden bucket for 5 wood, stuff ice into it, and realize melting is going to take forever. So I craft a stone stove for 20 stone and an iron pot for 5 iron ingots. Slide the bonfire under the stove, set the pot on top, pour ice into the pot, and throw in extra logs to push the melt along. The bed costs 20 wood, the grass mat 20 hay, the quilt 25 cotton, which I don't have yet. I take out 10 portions of sea beast meat, walk out, and toss into Shark Eagle and Shark Arm. Subordinates need treating right, telling them to push every surrounding ice floe over while I sit down and fish. Fishing net, fishing rod, both permanent. I throw the hook and wait. First pull, a genuine leather basketball dry as if the sea never touched it. I laugh. What am I supposed to do with a basketball on a raft? Maybe I'll keep it as a pet toy, let Shark Eagle and Shark Arm balance it like dolphins. Then 2 rolls of toilet paper. Thank God. I don't have to consider wiping myself with shark fins. Ice cubes, 5 at a time, and then again, and again. Chopsticks, a wooden bowl, a wooden cup, a little cotton. Over an hour of fishing yields mostly junk. 30 ice cubes, 10 cotton, 5 wood, 5 iron ore. The iron ore is raw, it'll need a furnace to melt into iron ingots. I keep fishing, cursing for a chest, and pull up a sanitary pad, a pair of black silk stockings, a set of fishnet stockings, and my sense of reality tilts. Our body pillows in here too, ideally with Tsunade or Kurumi or Asuna printed on them, because I'd sleep with one every night. Then something new lands. A mysterious blueprint, described as extremely rare, unrolling into a random synthesis plan for a technological or elemental weapon, firearm, staff, and so on. A flash of white light and the paper fills with text. Congratulations, revolver synthesis blueprint. The blueprint dissolves into a ball of light, enters my bracelet, and the crafting table suddenly has plans for a revolver and for ammunition. I could fight sea beasts from the raft at range now. The revolver wants 5 iron ingots, 5 iron nails. Easy 1 ingot makes 5. 5 wood. Ammunition wants gunpowder and iron ingot, and gunpowder wants saltpeter, sulfur, and charcoal. Charcoal I can burn from wood. Saltpeter and sulfur are rare and will have to come off the trade platform. Shark Eagle and Shark Arm return with 50 ice floes. The yield of floes here was poor and they had to range far, and I thanked them with another 10 portions of meat, smashing the floes nets 100 ice cubes, 10 small sea fish, 10 large shrimp, 10 crab, 15 wood, 5 stone. I'll have a bed tonight. A crouching dragon and fledgling phoenix at my side makes me miles ahead of anyone else. An indifferent voice drops into the bracelet. Night has fallen. Temperatures will crash below -70 in some areas. Rain, snow, and hail possible. Sea beasts will be exceptionally violent. They will also emerge in the darkness, so prepare yourself, and please do not close your eyes. Friendly reminder, you can collect rain and snow with wooden buckets. I don't know what they are, but if they rank beside sea beasts, I'll meet them when I meet them. Outside, the cold plunges fast, colder than a northern winter, and I bolt into the wooden house. The ice on the stove has boiled to water. I pour a cup of hot water into a wooden cup, nurse it warm between my palms, think that I really need a thermos, or cold water will wreck my stomach, and estimate 50 ice cubes make about half a liter, so 100 make a liter. I boil a bucket's worth and use the rest to cook, because tonight, besides sea beast meat, I have real crab and large shrimp. In my past life, I couldn't afford shrimp once a year and had only tasted crab once, at a friend's wedding, sitting at the kids' table and snatching one from them. I drop 10 crabs and shrimps into the pot, stoke the fire with 3 logs, and half an hour later crack a shell and let the roe slide straight into my mouth. Authentic. I scroll the communication channel while I eat. This is my anime during dinner substitute. And the channel is full of the freezing, the starving, the people just learning about campfires from a video another player posted. Nobody is selling wood or hay or cotton in the trading channel. One player broadcasts a tier 2 sea beast's large intestine he salvaged, 10 pounds uncleaned and reeking, begging the crowd for advice on whether to eat it. Another girl begs anyone for toilet paper because she is mid-squat. Since I have exactly what she needs, I private message her, confirm she really wants it, send a photo as proof, and ask what resources she has. Besides, small fish she has 5 logs, 10 units of crude iron ore, and over 30 units of sulfur. Sulfur. My jaw drops. I was searching in iron shoes and this girl has it stockpiled. I ask why she didn't list it on the trade platform and she answers, reasonably, that nobody needs sulfur right now when everyone's starving and freezing. So listing it would be moronic. She nearly calls me moronic in the process, and my smile curls. I type back a price. 2 portions of sulfur for 1 portion of toilet paper. She agrees instantly. 2 portions of sulfur land in my hands and the toilet paper tally decreases by 1 sheet. She comes back furious, saying she meant a roll, and I point out that I said 1 portion, and 1 portion is 1 sheet. She calls it robbery, and I calmly ask whether she can refuse me and whether she plans to trade her food for paper, or whether she intends to wipe herself with her bare hand after every number 2, and then cook, launder, and salvage with that same hand. In the end, she capitulates and trades me 30 portions of sulfur for 15 sheets. With sulfur secured, I need saltpeter. I split 50 portions of sea beast meat into 2 batches on the trade platform and broadcast 2 buy orders. 1 portion of meat for 5 portions of saltpeter, 1 portion of meat for 15 portions of iron ore or iron ingots, 25 portions each. The channel explodes. So generous. Who is this? What does he want saltpeter for? Who even has saltpeter who could gather 15 portions of iron ore that fast? How did he get so much meat in the first place? 5 minutes later, a trader accepts the iron offer, delivering 55 raw iron ore plus 5 iron ingots, enough for the revolver. But the saltpeter offer attracts a grandstanding moralist instead, who lectures me in the channel that I am hoarding food while people starve and begs me to give out 100-gram scraps as charity. A crowd agrees with him, crying that I'm selfish. I smile and reply, "You're all absolutely right, food is indeed too precious. So I've decided to raise the price." Saltpeter is now 10 portions for 1 meat iron ore 20 for 1, up 5 in both cases. The moralists freeze, and everyone else lights them on fire. One player who is 1 piece of iron short of his trade curses them with a professional viciousness. The channel becomes a roast. I watch the fireworks with deep satisfaction, close the channel, and finish the shrimp and crab. The channel hasn't finished roasting the moralists when my buy orders get 1 more taker. The iron ore seekers who'd grinded themselves down to 10 and 11 portions short of the threshold curse their moralist accusers into mulch. And I close the public chat and craft in private. The wooden house still needs a real bed. The crafting table lists a wooden bed at 20 wood. I synthesize it, a grass mat from 20 hay, and buy 20 cotton for 2 portions of sea beast meat off the trade platform to make the quilt and pillow. A fragrance rises from the fresh wood, and for the first time since arriving on this raft, the box around me feels like a home. I take stock. 7 wood, 40 stone, 5 iron ingots, 60 iron ore, 130 ice cubes, 2 cotton, 30 portions of sulfur, 58 portions of tier 1 sea beast meat, 10 small sea fish, and assorted sharp teeth with the junk pile, black silk stockings, fishing net, basketball, 2 rolls of toilet paper, tossed beside the trident. I pour the 130 ice cubes into the bucket so there'll be water by morning. I'm still 10 stone short of a furnace, which the gunpowder path needs, and the priority stays saltpeter. I'm about to tuck myself in when the bracelet dings. A private message from the toilet paper girl. She's calling me brother, and I tell her to stop trying to lay an egg and speak or get lost because I'm sleepy. She asks whether I have more sea beast meat to trade since she only has sulfur left, and I set the price at 20 portions of sulfur per meat. She calls it robbery. I raise it to 25 and warn her that if she complains again, I'll raise it further until she's starving at midnight with nothing she can afford. She snaps that she'd rather starve or jump into the sea than beg a jerk like me, that her name is Yuxian, and that if she ever begs me, she'll call me daddy. I tell her to suit herself and close my eyes. Yuxian, nice name I think, and drift off. 2 hours later, I'm yanked awake by a cascade of dings. Daddy, I was wrong, daddy. Yuxian apparently has a stomach that growls louder than her pride. She says she's so hungry she's crying and agrees to the price. I tell her it's 30 portions now because she woke me. She accepts. 60 portions of sulfur land in my hands for 2 portions of meat, and I stare at that heap of sulfur and ask her how a girl on a raft has stockpiled so much. She doesn't know. She says every time she salvages floating ice or fishes, she gets sulfur and hardly any food, and that it isn't cold around her. The seawater is steaming like a hot spring. There are no sea beasts, and she sends me a photo to prove it. Steaming seawater and sulfur in abundance. An underwater volcano. Magma heats the water. Cold-blooded beasts flee. Ice flows don't form, which is exactly why she's starving. I offer her a 50% discount on future meat trades for her coordinates, and she hands them over instantly. The distance between us is vast, no way to reach her in any short time. That settles it. Yuxian has to live, because she is the only sulfur pipeline I'll ever have, and I can't supply my future gunpowder appetite any other way. I message her back with the offer. Give me some face, be my employee. What? She replies. Am I joking? I'm not, I tell her. I need bulk sulfur and saltpeter. She's the only source. I'm hiring. I remind her that her sea area has almost no drift ice, that fresh water is her bottleneck, that without water she's got 3 days, and that right now, the seawater around her raft is seawater she just took a dump in. After a long pause, she sends, "Let me think about it." Then 10 minutes later caves. We haggle the rate. 10 sulfur for 1 sea beast meat, 20 sulfur for 1 liter of fresh water. Other resources case by case. High volume, low margin. Since food and water are effortless for me and sulfur converts to gunpowder, I come out ahead. She accepts and we add each other as friends, which trades anonymity for profile pictures, and I finally see her. Campus belle of a well-known university is exactly the right phrase. Pretty face, hot body, well endowed. I grin that I've made the campus belle my worker, daydreaming of promoting her to personal secretary, when a panicked private message shatters it. Feng Appa, she types. Did you see someone filmed the ghost ship and water ghouls? I snap to the public chat. And there's a video. A tattered black pirate skull ship drifting with scaled humanoid monsters shambling across its deck like zombies, and below the clip a panel card. Water ghoul, Tier 1, also called drowned or sunken corpses. Former humans consumed by the ocean. Excellent swimmers, no reason, immense strength, teeth and claws bearing cadaveric poison. Scales hardening their defense, only weakness the head. Nocturnal fearing sunlight. Actively hunting humans and sea beasts, evolving after feeding on sea beast meat. So every person who dies in this ocean becomes one of these. I checked the world population, 9,999,500,458. Almost 500,000 dead in one day, and if all of them came back as water ghouls, we'd have a horde inside a week. The channel is already a chorus of screams. I step outside into the cold and sure enough, 15 water ghouls are swimming toward my raft. All Tier 1, no Tier 2s among them, which lets me breathe, since 15 on 3 against creatures roughly my tier is still bad odds for a raft defender alone. I call Shark Eagle and Shark Arm. They've been smelling the corpse stench for minutes, and they're ready. Go eat, I tell them, and mind the poison claws. Shark Eagle launches out of the sea and comes down jaws open, swallowing a water ghoul whole and chewing twice before it goes down. By morning it'll be droppings. The massive 10 water ghouls swarm her back in fins, biting with everything they have, and her Tier 2 hide takes it without a scratch. Shark Arm sprints and cursing that nobody gets to bite sister Shark Eagle before he does. Snaps the heads off 2 ghouls in transit, lunges at the ones clinging to her back, and accidentally catches her dorsal fin in the process. She roars that it hurts, and to let go. He apologizes profusely and keeps grinning, because for sharks a hard bite is the way they express affection, and in his mind he's just stolen a first kiss. I'm watching the comedy when a low growl comes from behind me. 2 water ghouls have climbed onto the raft, and a third is underneath, scraping the level 1 hull with claws they can't get through. The 2 on deck accelerate at me like dogs at a bone. The first reaches me in 2 strides and takes the trident through the body. 5 holes, no effect, because water ghouls need a head strike, so I swing up through its skull and it drops. The second grabs the trident shaft with strength noticeably above mine even with the 10% Sea Brave boost, and while we stalemate, the third climbs over the aft of the raft to flank me. A pincer from 2 sides, smart enough for a creature rumored to have no intelligence. But I'm smiling because midnight has just passed. The bracelet asks whether I want to begin the daily check-in, and I tell it yes. Second day check-in successful. 5 steamed buns, 10 small sea fish, 5 Tier 1 beast cores, 1 Tier 1 pet Jiao Shark. The third shark materializes right above the water ghoul behind me, and swallows it on the instant. I pivot and drive my heel into the front ghoul's kneecap, which buckles. Their joints are fragile even if their bodies aren't, and ram the trident through the skull as it drops to a knee. Shark Eagle and Shark Arm finish their side, and the raft is mine again. The new Jiao Shark addresses me softly as master, voice gentle like a soft girl, and I realize I have to name her. The names of my future pets will run on a numbering scheme. Ling, 1, Own, all the way to 10,000. And since Ling sounds like 0, I christen her Sha Ling. She smiles, delighted. Shark Arm rushes up to greet the new companion, girl, and she responds with a hee-hee that makes Shark Eagle's jaw tighten on the spot. I decompose the 2 water ghoul corpses and harvest 8 hard scale and 2 Tier 1 ghost crystals. Hard scales are thin, hard, sea-suited armor material. Ghost crystals are like beast cores, essence of a water ghoul, exchangeable for 20 psionic energy each. My eyes light up. Water ghouls are far easier to kill than sea beasts, and if I can hunt them at volume, I can stack psionic energy fast. My panel reads 170 points from the day's cores. The new 5 from check-in plus the 2 ghost crystals add 140 more, and I convert it all. 310 points. I call Shark Arm over, wounded from the earlier sea beast fight and now bleeding again from the ghoul fight, and evolve him. His body doubles, fins and dorsal and tail balloon, until he's 5 meters long and visibly bigger than Shark Eagle. He roars his thanks and promises to conquer Sister Shark Eagle's heart this time. I roll my eyes. Sha Ling slides up to him with glowing eyes, calls him big brother, bites at his fin gently as a first kiss, and Shark Arm flounders, charmed. Shark Eagle finishes her perimeter sweep and reports no water ghouls within 5 kilometers. She's strongest, and I want her close. I tell all 3 of them to rest, and Shark Arm immediately struts back over to Shark Eagle to show off his new muscle. She bares her teeth, Tier 2 with intermediate bite, still crushing him in any real contest, and tells him to get lost or lose a piece. Sha Ling sidles in with a sweet voice. Big sister is so scary. Big brother, let's stay away. Hee hee, your little sister will never be mean to you like her. Shark Arm drifts off with her, disappointed and dazzled in equal measure. Holy shit, I think. She's been in my pack for 10 minutes and she's already a green tea shark. The channel is buzzing about water ghoul attacks across the world. Many killed, many more converted ghost crystals to psionic energy. And the world population reads 9,999,409,18. Another 100,000 dead since I last checked, and dawn is hours off. The trade platform is already in an uproar over ghost crystals. I jump in with my own post. 1 crystal for 1 sea beast meat, 2 crystals for 3, buy 2 get 1 free, first come first served, and move 6 portions of meat for 5 crystals, netting 100 psionic energy. I put it straight into physique, jumping to rank 2. I would have evolved pets instead, but the raft can't be infiltrated again, so defense first. Before bed, I private message Yusion to check she's alive. She is. No water ghouls in her hot spring sea. The temperature drives them off, as I expected. I sleep on a hard wooden board with only a grass mat, telling myself that compared to the freezing, starving millions, this is paradise, and wake at midday to a channel full of the usual zoo. A girl begging for rescue and offering to bear someone's children. A jerk parading a bowl of seafood ramen just to torment the hungry. Someone threatening to wash his face with urine and report him. I'm about to keep scrolling when Yusion messages, Fang Oppa, look what I got, and sends a photo of niter soil, extremely rare, synthesizes into saltpeter, which turns into ice blocks and gunpowder. I nearly jump off the raft. The crafting table lists saltpeter at 3 niter soil proportion. And Yusion has found a quarry. She explains, her raft drifted overnight to a reef island, 1,000 or so square meters of rock covered in sea fish, abalone, shrimp, crabs, sea turtle eggs washed ashore, and seabirds resting on the rocks. Niter soil forms from sea turtle and seabird droppings settling over time, and volcanic islands are heavy with it naturally. She sends a selfie from the reef in a ruined JK skirt and shredded black stockings. I admire the legs and tell myself I could play with them for a year before focusing. I push for 10 soils per sea beast meat. She refuses. She has food now. She'll only trade for water, wood, stone, ice. I remind her she has no drinkable water, no trees, no way to craft anything. Her hot spring island is comfortable but barren. She folds. We settle on 20 saltpeter for 1 liter of water. Other trades later, and I warn her not to lie flat on the island since most niter soil is literally old bird droppings. Possibly fresh, possibly still under her. She gags. She threatens a shower and I say either don't tell me or start a video call for half-price future trades. She tells me to get lost. Calls herself a pure girl who's never touched a man. Claims the only reason she's single is a female bodyguard, her mom. The CEO is signed to scare away suitors. I ask if she's second-generation rich. She says yes, but only a few branch companies, a handful of villas, $1 billion in savings, nothing much. I raise her prices on the spot. She begs. I don't tell her about the underwater volcano theory because if she panics and leaves, my sulfur and saltpeter pipeline dies. Besides, even if the volcano erupts, at worst the water warms a few more degrees. I'll make her a revolver too, so she can defend herself, and because only I can craft the bullets, no gun I hand out can be turned against me. I start cooking lunch, 2 logs into the campfire, half a liter of water, sea beast meat in the pot, and plan the revolver craft. I still need a furnace, 30 stone, charcoal to smelt iron, wood to make the charcoal, and a mountain of sulfur and saltpeter for the gunpowder. The biggest bottleneck is wood. In this icy world, a forest seems impossible. The temperature alone would kill any surface vegetation. That's when Yusion pings again. Fang Oppa, check the public chat. Someone discovered an undersea forest. The channel is exploding. A player has posted photos of a vast undersea forest at 200 meters depth. Coordinates 2798, 3281, only a dozen odd kilometers from me. And the chat suspects a trap, because who publishes the coordinates of a treasure trove? The player addresses it directly with a second photo. 15 plus sea beasts, sharks and giant octopuses and giant squids, fighting over the forest's territory, already half slaughtered with only 5 wounded sharks remaining. His pitch is that nearby strengthened chosen ones gather and finish the weakened sharks together, splitting the meat and claiming the forest. Support floods in. The doubters get shouted down. Some volunteer to travel, others to chip in with long-range weapons. One player with a salvaged crossbow offers to coat arrows and sea snake fangs and poison glands donated by a player who survived a snake bite with poison resistance. Even basketballs get proposed and mocked. Meanwhile, I'm already calculating how much faster I am than all of them. No one else has shark pets pulling a raft. Most of them are rowing with oars or drifting on sails, while I can sprint there in 2 hours. I'll hit the forest today, before the raid party arrives, and take what I need. I finish the meat, rope Shark Eagle and Shark Arm to the raft, put Xiaoling on flank guard. She flirts at Shark Arm that she'll be back to accompany him soon. He murmurs that Master's task is most important, and his little sister should hurry back. Shark Eagle snorts Vixen under her breath, and Shark Arm for the first time pushes back, telling her that Xiaoling is a sensible, considerate little sister. Shark Eagle rolls her eyes and looks away. I resign myself. If Xiaoling and Shark Arm breed, I'll just have more pets. And since sharks gestate 4 years, I'll worry later. We set out, the 3 of them dragging the raft at speed, and inside an hour reach the coordinates. The sea is dyed red, corpses of dead sea beasts and shredded squid and octopus floating everywhere. 2 pods fought and destroyed each other. The blood scent is everywhere, even to my human nose. The 3 sharks drool at the buffet, I rein them in with a threat of the whip if anyone steals a bite before I decompose, and they push over all the intact corpses for me. Decomposition yields 3 Tier 2 beast cores, 90 Tier 2 sea beast meat, 15 Tier 1 beast cores, 150 Tier 1 meat, 300 sharp teeth, and 3 vaporizing ink sacs, which are squid ink sacs that vaporize into black fog on release and irritate a shark's sense of smell so badly it blinds them. The bane of sharks. 150 from Tier 1 cores, 300 from Tier 2s, plus my old 10 equals 460 psionic energy. The question is how to spend it. Shark Eagle costs 400 to hit Tier 3, Xiaoling only 200 for Tier 2. I decide Shark Eagle, intermediate bite plus Tier 3 physique will be unmatched, and 1 Tier 3 can handle 3 Tier 2 easily. I hand out 15 portions of Tier 2 meat each to reward them. The 3 sharks gorge happily and look at me like puppies at a food bowl. Then I call Shark Eagle over and evolve her. She grows from 4 meters to nearly 7, her muscles thick and hard, teeth like iron spikes, and she roars skyward so violently that the corpse eaters circling beyond keep their distance. Shark Arm and Xiaoling stare with stars in their eyes. Xiaoling pouts that Master has favored sister twice now. When does she get a turn? Tonight, I tell her, tonight is water ghoul night, and water ghouls are easier than sea beasts and pay ghost crystals. I order all 3 into the water to harvest wood. The trees down there are sea trees, massive trunks 2 people can barely wrap their arms around. Xiaoling's teeth leave marks but can't cut through. Shark Arm in a chivalrous rush muscles in to help, opens a huge tooth wound and then lashes the trunk with his tail until the tree crashes sideways. He tells her she should handle transport while he handles biting, and she chirps thanks brother with her patented sweet smile. I craft an iron axe, 5 iron ingots, 5 wood, and chop the log into 10 portions of wood. Shark Eagle rolls up with a whole uprooted sea tree in her mouth, torn out from the seabed in one motion, and I get 20 more wood from it. She's efficient beyond compare. The raid party is still hours away. I'm already developing the forest they haven't even contested yet. While the sharks keep hauling, I open the trade platform. Everyone is buying beast teeth, fangs, poison glands, bows and crossbows, and darts. Ranged weapons are the comfort of the moment. I smile. I'm about to fire a real gun. I list 360 beast teeth at 10 for 1 portion of stone, minerals, or rare resources, and put up 10 portions of Tier 2 sea beast meat at 10 portions of resources per meat, restricting trade to stone and minerals because Tier 1 meat has already collapsed from 30 per to 3 or 4. Too many people survived the water ghoul night by converting crystals. Too many people are now hunting. The channel loses its mind over the Tier 2 listing. Rumor spins that I must be Tier 3 physique at least. A buyer takes 200 teeth for 20 stone, which brings me to 60 stone total. Enough to craft a furnace. I craft it inside the wooden house beside the stone stove. The item card notes that furnaces can also create alloys, not just smelt iron, and I tuck that away for later weapons research. I throw my iron ore in, add wood for fuel, and start smelting. 1 iron ingot every 2 minutes, 2 logs per ingot. 60 ore is 2 hours and 120 wood. Horrible efficiency until I switch to charcoal. I lean over the side of the raft and shout for Shark Eagle. A massive bloody maw fills my vision in the next instant, nearly inhaling me. Master, I'm here, she says innocently. If you're coming, just come, I scold. Why open your mouth? Were you going to eat me? She gives me the aggrieved daughter expression, and I can't stay angry. I tell her to pass this along to the others. From now on, break trunks, don't uproot. The forest can regrow if the roots stay. Sustainable development. IC edition. Another private message. Big shot. Can we add as friends? A stranger says, claiming something important. His avatar turns into a man's face, his nickname into Qianwu. So this is the one who found the undersea forest, which means he's close. He greets me with hollow flattery, says he's long admired me, when he didn't know my name an hour ago, then proposes I join the raid. He admits he has Tier 2 physique, and I would make 2. They've rallied 15 Tier 1s and 30 ordinary chosen ones. 15 Tier 1s, 1 Tier 2, and 30 commoners. A ragtag mob, and my Tier 3 Shark Eagle makes any of them irrelevant. I decline politely, too far, can't make it in a day, and keep logging quietly. I don't trust Chanwu. Anyone who publishes coordinates to get a mob raised has something to gain, and until I know his character, I'm not gambling my life with him. He circles back with a purchase order for beast teeth. I set the price at 10 per portion of resources. He offers herbs instead. Most common grass processable in an alchemy furnace into cold medicine. Fever reducers, styptics, wound healing paste. I need those. Shark Arm was cut up yesterday, and sea beast or water ghoul fights will only get bloodier. I trade 160 teeth for 10 herbs and a mechanical watch, which reads 5:30 p.m. The crafting table lists the alchemy furnace at 30 stone and 30 iron ingots, which explains why Qianwu isn't making his own. That wood-hungry furnace is probably half his motivation for the forest raid. I call the sharks up with another dozen sea trees in tow, decompose into 250 wood total. Plenty. And have them pull us a short distance out. I'll come back tomorrow for the show. Dinner feeding time for the pets, and I notice a new problem. Shark Eagle's appetite has scaled with her size. 50 portions of tier 1 meat is barely half full for her. 200 portions would top her off. A loyal subordinate can't be allowed to go hungry. I'll need to hunt far more. I walk to the furnace, which has finished all 60 iron ingots, and craft 5 iron nails from 1 ingot, then the revolver from 5 ingots, 5 nails, 5 wood. A silver revolver fills my palm. Exquisite grade, 6-chamber, 100-meter range, high penetration through sea beast skin, 100 durability. I aim at the sky and dry fire. Only a click. I need bullets, which means gunpowder, which means saltpeter, which means Yusion. I ping her. Fang Appa. Help. There's a shark here. A shark in her hot spring sea. Impossible unless the volcano gave it thermal armor. She sends a video. A 20-meter crimson shark, skin the color of lava, steam rising off its back, and its stat card reads, Blazing Mad Shark, Tier 6 Mutant Sea Beast, Advanced Raging Inferno, Ultra High Temperature Flame Breath, Core Magna Hot. Advanced Thermal Absorption, absorbs geothermal energy to speed evolution. Intermediate Bite, Double Tooth Sharpness, born from a mad shark absorbing geothermal energy, untamable adult. Good grief. Mutant Sea Beasts, another class above ordinary ones. I glance at the sleeping shark eagle and wonder whether she and the others could mutate too. If so, their power would more than double. Yuson messages again. It finally left, she says, terrified. I tell her night makes sea beasts worse, and it may come back. She whines, please don't scare me. I ask whether she has saltpeter. She confesses she only pulled 10 portions of niter soil today because the fire shark was patrolling all afternoon. So 10 saltpeter only. 10 saltpeter plus 10 sulfur plus 20 charcoal equals 100 bullets. She also whines she hasn't eaten all day and swears to treat me to plump juicy abalone tomorrow. I ignore the innuendo and send her half a liter of water, 20 portions of tier 1 meat, 5 portions of tier 2 meat. Without her, no one feeds my gunpowder habit, and I refuse to let a beautiful silly campus belle die on my watch. Is this what keeping a female student feels like, I wonder? No, this is a lovely maiden and a fit match for a gentleman, I tell myself, and close the chat. Yusion gushes back. Fang Oppa, if it weren't for you, I'd have starved today. From now on, I'll treat you to abalone every day whenever you want, she says. I tell her eating too much abalone causes internal heat and to get me more sulfur and saltpeter instead. With the 10 saltpeter in hand, I load 20 wood into the furnace, use another 20 as fuel, and wait 40 minutes for 20 charcoal. The card explains charcoal smelts and refines more efficiently than wood and even works for grilling. The gunpowder recipe completes on the first attempt, 10 portions. The bullet recipe eats 1 gunpowder and 1 iron ingot per 10 bullets, and 100 silver rounds appear before me. I slot one into the cylinder and fire into the sky. The gunshot wakes all 3 sharks. Shark Eagle growls. Shark Arm complains that I ruined a dream of a grand battle with 20 female sharks. Xiaoling looks around alarmed. I tell them nothing's wrong. It's a weapon test, and to split watches in rotation. Shark Eagle first, Shark Arm second, Xiaoling third. Because water ghouls could come, and I lie in bed watching the channel's circus of midnight fears and low-life comedy until Shark Eagle calls from outside. Over 30 water ghouls are locked in a fierce fight with a tier 2 sea beast about a kilometer out, she reports. And they don't have attention to spare. The sniping clam situation is everything I could ask for. We close fast. The sea beast turns out to be a double-headed Jiao Shark, tier 2 mutant sea beast, 2 heads from conjoined twin brothers, violent, adult, untamable, besieged by 5 tier 2 water ghouls and 20-odd tier 1s. I order the pets back and load 6 rounds. The ghouls smell shark and turn on my raft. Shark Eagle sneers that I'm planning to kill water ghouls with a thin, short, weak-looking thing from 50 meters away. I glare, and when the lead ghoul is 30 meters out, 20 now, I fire. Its head comes apart. Xiaoling's eyes sparkle and asks what the little gadget is called, and Shark Arm relays that Master called it a handgun. I keep firing. Every ghoul inside the 100-meter ring goes down on 1 shot each, while my pets circle behind to collect corpses for later ghost crystal harvest. My tier 2 physique makes the dark water crystal into my vision, and the 5 tier 2 ghouls charge as their underlings die. I aim chest on the first one and it barely slows, so I reload and put 5 rounds through 5 skulls. Beyond 20 meters the gun is fastest. I tell Shark Eagle, she asks, what about within 20? And I smile. Within 20, the gun is both accurate and fast. I send the sharks to finish the survivors with instructions to spit the heads back, and I walk to the double-headed shark which is already dying from the ghoul assault. It bears both mouths at me and I empty 6 rounds. 3 left head, 3 right, equal treatment, and it dies. Decomposition yields 2 tier 2 beast cores, mutants carry 2, doubling their output. 100 tier 2 sea beast meat, 100 sharp teeth. From the ghoul pile I pull 5 tier 2 ghost crystals and 25 tier 1 crystals. 850 psionic energy total, plus my old 60, and a new announcement drops. First chosen one in the Ice Sea world to kill a tier 2 sea beast, Sea Brave upgraded to Maritime Knight, personal and beast combat power up 20%. I plan to grab every first kill title as I push up the ranks. I spend 600 points raising Xiaoling to tier 2 and Shark Arm to tier 3. I could push Shark Eagle to tier 4 at 800 points, but I fear unequal treatment more than scarcity. A neglected pet might lose loyalty. 310 points remain, enough to wait for tomorrow's check-in before pushing Xiaoling again. The double-headed shark's blood will pull every predator for kilometers. We leave at once for the undersea forest. The bracelet dings. Yuxian asking if I've seen the livestream. 2 billion viewers. The channel's top pinned feed. I open it. A pirate ship 20 meters long with a white skull on its sail cuts across the sea, and on its deck humanoid creatures in hard fish scales are pouring off. Mermen, the channel has already named them. A shark merman with blade arms splits a raft in two with his dorsal fin and bites a chosen one's throat out in mid-leap. Octopus merman with 8 tentacles, electric eel merman spitting charges, squid merman discharging poison ink. A tier 2 chosen one-on-one raft single-handedly holds off 5 of them until an octopus merman tears his raft apart from beneath, and then the feed ends in a bloodstain. Panic floods the channel. Sea beasts by day, water ghouls by night, now merman pirates too. Somebody proposes mass gathering. Idiots, I think. The priority is raft upgrades because in the water anyone is dead. I close the feed and sleep. Day 3 check-in. 5 steamed buns, 10 small sea fish, 5 tier 1 beast cores, 1 tier 1 pet Jiao Shark. The new one is male, polite greeting his seniors as eldest sister, second brother, third sister. Shark Eagle grunts. Shark Arm and Sha Ling are too wrapped up in each other to notice. Undeterred, he swims to me and asks what he can do. A pet with a normal personality. Finally. I name him Shark 1 for the numbering system. He bows and asks for tasks without small talk. I send him to push ice and glare at the other 3 until they grudgingly help. The trade platform goes live. 20 ice for 1 tier 1 meat, 1 liter of water for 1 tier 2 meat. First come, first served. Within 10 minutes, the remaining 100 tier 1 portions are gone, and 10 people pay in ice equivalents for tier 2, 2,500 ice cubes and 5 liters of water, a potential 30 liters melted if I had more buckets. The pets drag back more flows, and I smash out 200 more cubes plus a miscellany of underwear, stockings, JK uniforms, nurse outfits, aprons, and a pair of binoculars, with a 2,000-meter range. I seriously suspect my phone's browsing history has been leaked. I eye the JK uniform and think about making Yuxian wear it for me for a private video call. An evil smile stays on my face a beat too long. Then Xianwu posts in the channel that the raid launches in 10 minutes, asking for last-minute volunteers. I won't go, but I intend to watch from nearby and pick off the leftovers. And while I'm living at the forest's edge anyway, the shark pack needs clearing from my logging to be safe. Shark Eagle and Shark Arm rope in and tow me near the undersea forest. I park on the channel livestream and watch Jianwu's circle form around him. 50-odd chosen ones, 15 tier 1S, 1 tier 2 him, 30 ordinary, and a cute little dolphin doing silver bell calls beside his raft. Her card reads, High-pitched dolphin, tier 3, beginner sonic oscillation ignores physical defense, vibration damage to internal organs. Gentle, non-hostile, currently tamed, infancy. A tier 3 pet. On day 1 he lucked into it as an infant, still tameable only because of age, and a refined grade piercing iron spear out of a flow too. Add a high-pitched dolphin's never sleeping 2 brains and near-nothing food needs, and he's leveled to tier 2 on pure outsourcing. A girl named Suo leans in to coo at the dolphin. First order chosen 1, only woman among the tier 1S. A hot curved figure, the kind where anyone seeing her from the front would internally shout holy crap. They're huge, but Xianwu appreciates her for survival ability in her transmigration. Unlike most girls, she didn't panic. He tells the crowd to spread out 50 meters around him while he dumps 3 wooden barrels of sea beast blood and tier 2 bait into the water. The wait stretches. 5 minutes. Nothing. Xianwu sends the dolphin scouting and she returns trembling. A big fellow is coming, he announces. Scatter. 5 massive barbed tentacles burst from the water and haul the bait down. Giant octopus, tier 2, no skills, 8 6-meter tentacles, 3-meter head. Violent but beatable. The crowd barrages it with crossbow arrows coated in sea snake venom. And the poison more than the piercing is what finally makes the octopus dive. People celebrate, certain they've driven it off. Xianwu snaps that the dolphin says it's still close. Don't relax. And before anyone can react, 8 tentacles burst up around one chosen one in the back. Gaps too tight to arrow through without killing the hostage. While everyone hesitates, a single tentacle runs him through the chest and drags him screaming into the sea. The octopus learned fast. Hostage the hostages, and the humans won't fire. It surfaces again and grabs another. Xianwu rages. These were his future subordinates. Watching them die bleeds him, but he has no plan. Then Sual speaks up and says she has one but needs the dolphin. She paddles her raft a distance off, holds a bloody tier 2 meat high as bait, and lures the giant octopus to her alone. 2 tentacles shoot at her back, and with tier 1 reflexes she harpoons the first tentacle through, pinning it to the raft. The octopus screams. The high-pitched dolphin releases sonic oscillation from 10 meters off. The card says sound travels 1,500 meters per second in water, and the high-frequency wave punches through the octopus's flesh and slams its heart. In pain, it breaches to flee and runs into the surface circle Chanwu has already formed. His piercing iron spear leaves his hand like an arrow, pierces the brain, and the giant octopus dies. Decomposition gives Sual 200 Tier 2 sea beast meat and 1 Tier 2 beast core. Cheonwu refuses a share. Her credit, he says, and she gladly pushes the core into physique, evolving to Tier 2 on the spot. Her body slims and lengthens, her skin brightens, her clothes no longer fit. The top rides up midriff bare. The crowd lowers their heads shyly to stare at her chest. Even Chanwu and the high-pitched dolphin, who inexplicably feels the urge to balance a ball on its head. Sual notices, flushes red, and wraps a tattered overcoat around herself. Qianwu coughs the meeting back to order. They let more blood and wait for sharks. Until nightfall, nothing comes. They kill time fishing. The undersea forest yields wood on hooks at a rate unheard of elsewhere. 100 logs split among them in an afternoon. And at nightfall, they build bonfires and hold a barbecue to celebrate the octopus kill. Sual shares her Tier 2 meat generously. The high-pitched dolphin nuzzles her. She fusses over it and holds it against her chest until it starts suffocating, scrambles free, and swims to Qianwu howling. Sea beasts, he translates, 12 of them in all directions, right now. I'm watching the feed on my own raft not far off, and the dawn of dread in their voices when the 8 or 9 shark heads break the water is visceral. 1 ordinary chosen, 1 per bite, 20 dead in seconds. 3 of the pack tier, 2 mad sharks. A shark pack ambush planned for the human hours when tiredness dulls the defense. Qianwu gathers the 20 survivors into a hedgehog ring. He tells Sual to handle 1 Tier 2. He and the dolphin take the other 2, and the rest buy time against the Tier 1 Jiao Sharks. Sonic oscillation works on the giant octopus, but enrages the mad sharks. They charge the dolphin. Sual harpoons 1 through the back, survives the counter, leaps onto its spine, wrenches the trident out, and drives it through the eye, forcing it into the water to dislodge her. Cheonwu handles 2 at once with the piercing iron spear. Then 2 more mad sharks break the surface behind him. 5 Tier 2s total now. And behind those, 3 fresh shark heads surface together, moving faster than any of the mad sharks had. Not 3 separate sharks. 1 shark. 3-headed frenzy shark. Tier 3 mutant sea beast. Intermediate water arrow barrage. Condenses ocean water element into arrows. 60-meter long-range radial attack. Conjoined from genetic mutation. Violent. Low intelligence. Adult. Untamable. It tears through another dozen chosen ones in the first charge, including 2 Tier 1s, then lifts all 3 heads together and conjures a blue sphere between its mouths that explodes into a radial storm of water arrows, slicing down every runner ahead, to the left, to the right. Of the 50-odd who started the day, fewer than 10 remain. Good thing I refused Chanwu's invite. A Tier 3 mutant with long-range radial water arrows, plus 4 Tier 2 mad sharks and 6 Tier 1s. Even with Shark Eagle, Shark Arm, Sha Ling, and Shark 1, I don't want to clash head-on. But I cannot let that pack keep the undersea forest. It must be mine. I call Sha Ling over and spend 400 of my 410 points evolving her to Tier 3. Her body stretches to nearly 7 meters, matching Shark Eagle and Shark Arm. 3 Tier 3 pets and 1 Tier 1, plus the revolver and 100-meter range, should be enough as long as I stay out of the arrow radius. We set out. Cheonwu, meanwhile, abandons his raft and climbs onto the dolphin's back to flee. Forget the subordinates, forget Sual. The Green Hills remain. A man has to save himself. His survivors curses 18 generations. The 3-headed frenzy shark lifts 3 heads in unison, mutters something murderous, and pursues him faster than the dolphin can swim. 50 meters, exactly in range. A blue light gathers in its middle mouth, and the water arrow barrage fires. 5 sharp arrows punching 5 bloody holes through Qianwu's chest. He drops into the sea and dies on the spot, and the high-pitched dolphin's contract dissolves, tameable state restored, and she flees into the deep. A dozen seconds later, 3 huge shadows materialize in front of her. Shark Eagle, Shark Arm, Sha Ling. Tigers behind, wolves in front. She wails and closes her eyes to welcome the Grim Reaper, and I realize who she is at the same moment. I tell Shark Arm to grab her, not kill her. He charges in with a lecherous grin about dolphin meat, and I have to yell that I want her alive. I can tame her now that Qianwu is dead. The dolphin screams in terror, pleading that she has a secret to tell us. Shark Arm pauses. A secret useful to master would be credit he can parade in front of both Shark Eagle and Sha Ling. He growls low, flicks his head to follow me, and the dolphin trails him back to my raft in a daze, stunned first by my level 1 raft size, then by 3 Tier 3 sea beasts around me. Master, Shark Arm says, this little weakling has a secret for you. I acknowledge him without forming a contract yet. We can't talk, she and I, because the 3-headed frenzy shark is already closing to under 100 meters. It hesitates at the sight of 3 Tier 3 pets. I don't hesitate. I aim at its middle head and fire. The bullet punches clean through. It howls but isn't killed. Tier 3 hide is tough. It fixes blood-red eyes on me and charges. Shark Eagle, Shark Arm, Sha Ling, I order. 3 of my heads, 3 of theirs, fair fight, hit it hard. They tear and biting. Shark 1 volunteers for overtime and I wave him off to watch the dolphin. He's still Tier 1 too thin for this. I reload and squeeze off shots at gaps. 3-on-1 looks even until the frenzy shark's 3 mouths gather blue light simultaneously, and over a dozen water arrows spray radially. My 3 dodge what they can and absorb the rest on thick tier 3 hide. The arrows are fast in water because they're made of water, unlike my bullets which lose power the moment they submerge. Shark Eagle coordinates. Xialing and Shark Arm decoy arrows from front and flank, while she loops underneath, closes and bites at the tail using intermediate bite with doubled sharpness. The tail shears off whole. She drops it and tears into the upper body while the frenzy shark writhes and screams from 3 mouths at once. The sea goes bright red. A notification drops. First chosen one in the ice sea world to kill a tier 3 sea beast. Maritime Knight upgraded to Maritime General. Personal and beast combat power up 30%. I check it. The 20% Knight bonus is gone and replaced with 30 flat. My combat is now 130% across the board. The 3 pets surface with chewed up fish heads still in their mouths, the body and tail long gone down their throats, and instead of handing them to me, hand them to Shark 1. Little brother, they say, eat some, tier 3 meat is delicious. He thanks them politely and devours all 3 in minutes. I want to shoot all 3 of them, I mutter, but I can't shoot my little brothers, it's my fault. Endure the waves, broaden the sky. No, fine, they're going hungry for 3 days when we get back. I pick up the bones and decompose them anyway. 10 tier 3 sea beast meat, 3 tier 3 beast cores, and an intermediate skill stone for water arrow barrage. 300 psionic energy from the cores, and a stone I can hand to whoever needs an intermediate skill the most. Shark Eagle already has intermediate bite. I call Shark Arm over and hand him the stone. 1 long range, 1 close combat. Together unstoppable. He swallows and comprehends instantly. His card updates to intermediate water arrow barrage, and his description tag adds, gender male likes female, loves to cuddle with female sharks. A typical lecher. He preens, circles Shark Eagle, asks whether she still looks down on him now. She rolls her eyes. Xialing swims in gushing gigi, you're so great, and asks for a demonstration. Shark 1 tilts in to watch like a curious baby. Shark Arm gathers a blue sphere and fires a single arrow clean through a floating ice block. Dozens of small crystals spraying apart, and then volleys more into the sea for the thunder of it. Xialing sparkles. He gathers blue light again and aims at her. I and Xialing both freeze. Is he going to shoot her? But what comes out this time is a slow, harmless column of water, like a tap at full blast, right into her mouth. She swallows, coughs, and then announces it. This is fresh water, clean and tasteless. I am stunned. 2 ways to get fresh water in this world. Ice melt or rain and snow, and both have drawbacks. Slow and dirty respectively. Now Shark Arm can condense ocean water elements into clean fresh water endlessly. My water bottleneck is gone, and I can sell Shark Arm spit to a global market that doesn't need to know where it came from, as long as I keep quiet and accept his bad breath. Shark Arm crows that he's now the strongest in the house, stronger than Shark Eagle, and Shark Eagle bares her teeth to duel. He fires a water arrow barrage at her head, pulling punches so she'd only be blocked, not hurt, and she bites every single arrow to pieces with intermediate bite, and chases him. He's tier 3 too, same size, same speed. She can't catch me down the length of the raft. Finally, driven to breaking, Shark Eagle plays her trump card. She cries loud wailing shark tears. Shark Arm, panicked, rushes over fin rubbing to comfort her. She suddenly stops crying, clamps her jaws around his tail fin, and growls that his tail and his source of joy are both in her mouth, and with a little pressure she can neuter him on the spot. He yields, cries I was wrong, your majesty the queen, and she finally releases him. She swims off proudly. Shark Arm stares after her with heart-shaped eyes and confesses that being scolded by her just now felt so good. Xiaoling's face falls. Big brother, you seem to have awakened a strange attribute. Maybe this is love, he sighs. Enough, I cut in. There are 11 more sea beasts waiting for us. Snack time, they chorus, and we move. The high-pitched dolphin drifts in my wake at a distance, shocked that I dispatched the 3-headed frenzy shark so quickly, already rethinking her whole future. Following this human might not be a bad thing. When she sees me heading into the shark pack, she almost bolts, and then stays, curious. We reach the fight. Only 5 remain of Chanu's 54 tier 1 chosen ones, and Suwal, all tier 2 and above, all gravely injured. 4 tier 2 mad sharks and 6 tier 1 Jiao sharks are still circling. Suwal already killed 1 mad shark, which is enough to respect, and the 4 remaining mad sharks are tearing her clothes into strips, the top of her torn to shreds, her skin snow white beneath. Holy crap, they're huge, I can't help thinking. Someone with sharp eyes spots my raft and 4 pets and starts begging, great God, save us. The others follow, one man winking and offering to warm my bed regardless of gender, which nearly makes me order the sharks to eat him personally. I want the beast cores, so I ignore the gay flirt and order Shark Eagle and Shark Arm in. The mad sharks immediately turn from Suwol to my pets. Shark-type sea beasts hold territory at the price of death, and my pets smell like humans' property now, which makes them enemies more than same kind. Shark Arm waves Shark Eagle back with his fin. Leave it to me, sister, and strokes her head. "Don't touch my head," she barks, ears going faintly warm, and threatens his lower half. He apologizes through laughter and says he still needs it for conquering her body. Bah, her heart. She slaps him with her tail. The 4 mad sharks roar at them on the other side that they came to fight, not watch a dog couple performance, curse them colorfully for public affection, speculate that the pretty female shark ought to be pinned down collectively in front of her husband to teach her a lesson, filthy mouths for tier 2 sea beasts, and the 4 of them wake each other up on it until Shark Eagle and Shark Arm stop flirting and lunge in. Shark Arm needs no second cue. He concentrates water elements in his mouth and thrusts his body forward, and over a dozen blue arrows shoot out in a single volley. The 4 tier 2 mad sharks choke on their own confusion. That is the 3-headed frenzy shark's skill. How can this male Jiao Shark use it? Could it have defeated the boss? Impossible. The 3-headed frenzy shark is a tier 3 mutant with intermediate skills, stronger than any tier 4 ordinary beast. Stop thinking, run. They scatter, but Shark Arm's water arrows are fast and free, and one unlucky mad shark has its skull punched through before it clears the range. The rest don't make it either. One by one they are shot into beehives by the barrage, and when the last one drops, Shark Arm is huffing like a man 3 minutes into a sprint. Shark Eagle rolls her eyes and mocks him the whole time. "A skinny dog like you wants to conquer my body and mind. You'll tire yourself to death first." Shark Arm protests that he just fired over 200 water arrows. Even a donkey on a production team deserves a break. And the figure is not an exaggeration. In the icy world, water elements are free, but condensing them still burns stamina, and 200 arrows is no less draining than a day and a night of work on 10 female sharks. In front of me, 6 tier 1 Jiao Sharks have closed on the reinforced raft and are ramming it like imbeciles, which the reinforced raft was built to endure. I draw the fully loaded revolver and fire 6 times in succession, and 6 stinky shark heads open at the crown. Less than a minute, 10 corpses. On the survivor's little raft, 5 pairs of eyes go wide. One of them breathes the word revolver, like he is naming a god. Another says 6 shots, 6 corpses, 1 shot kills. Another groans that his iron crossbow in his hand has become uncomfortable to look at. Another complains we're all using cold weapons. Why does he get a gun? Does this make sense? Is this fair? The novel fan among them gets bold and speculates that the big shot has awakened a weapons system. Sewell listens with black lines on her face and then sets them all straight, speaking slowly. The great god must have salvaged a mysterious blueprint same as her, and what he opened out of it was the revolver. She explains that in the sea or on floating ice, there is a tiny chance of fishing up a mysterious blueprint, and a blueprint unlocks a synthesis plan for a technological or magical weapon. Given the materials, you can craft that weapon. It isn't only firearms. A friend of hers salvaged a ship blueprint, but 10,000 iron ingots are involved, and she has given up on competing. When they ask what hers synthesizes, she says with a bitter smile, a diving suit, and she doesn't have the materials, and the little group falls silent. I have Shark Eagle and Shark Arm push all 10 corpses to me, and I strip them clean. 300 tier 1 sea beast meat, 200 tier 2, 6 tier 1 beast cores, 4 tier 2. The meat goes into the backpack. The cores are converted on the spot. 320 spiritual energy, plus the 310 I was sitting on makes 630. I drop 600 to promote Shark 1 from tier 1 to tier 3 in one pass. He rubs against me the way only a certified workaholic rubs, promising to give his all for Master from now on, to work himself to the bone, to never go west when told to go east. Such a diligent employee, who could refuse a reward. Counting Shark 1, I now have 4 tier 3 beast pets, and once I tame that little dolphin and let her grow, it will be 5. I walk to the back of the raft. The high-pitched dolphin is trailing submissively, trembling, Shark Eagle and Shark Arm eyeing her like she's already sashimi. Her panel on my bracelet reads Tier 3, Junior Sonic Oscillation. Sound waves that bypass physical defense and damage internal organs. Juvenile, tameable, gentle temperament. One of the few sea beasts that will not harm humans. Suitable for braising or steaming with cumin and chili powder. A prompt pings asking if I want to tame her, and I wave it through without a thought. Only a fool would refuse. White light, tamed, Tier 3 beast pet acquired, and a cute lowly voice greets me. Master. She is, of course, a girl. When I ask her name, she says her former master only called her Little One, and I decide to do better. Xiaoling gave the sharks their Sha line, but a Sha something name on her Lolita voice would be hideous, so I settle on Jiao Jiao, squeal for squeal, a name that sounds like a little lowlie at first listen. She tests the syllables beams and thanks me. I toss her the basketball I fished out on day 1. The sharks were too lazy to head it, and no one would buy it, so it might as well belong to her, and her ball-heading gene snaps online like a sheepdog spotting sheep. She heads it skyward, singing, and I enjoy the voice more than I should admit. Inner commentary, inevitable. Lowlies are the best. Soft and delicate and easy to push over. Much better than a cold goddess like Shark Eagle, or a little green tea like Xia Ling. I compose an ode to the lowly, on the spot about height not mattering. 1 meter 4 being fine, chest size being beside the point. Confucius saying why fear the death penalty. Mencius saying life is what I desire, but lowlies are also what I desire, and if I cannot have both, I shall give up my life for the lowly. Jiao Jiao plays herself tired and swims up asking for food, so I hand each beast pet a piece of tier 3 sea beast meat and eat a piece myself. Long-term consumption strengthens the physique without needing spiritual energy. Slow but real. Chewing, I remember she said she had a secret. Reporting to Master, she says, she knows where there are elemental pearls and can take me to them. Elemental pearls, she explains, are made by sea pearl clams, extremely rare, and if a sea beast eats one, it gains a chance at a mutational evolution. I raise an eyebrow, so an ordinary sea beast could turn into a mutant, like that 3-headed frenzy shark. Shark Eagle's tail stiffens at the idea. I look at her imagining 3 heads and recoil. Ugly no. Shark Arm, on the other hand, lights up. If Sister Shark Eagle became a 3-headed shark, wouldn't kissing her be kissing 3 female sharks at once? Triple happiness. And when creating offspring, it would be reproducing with 3 at once. Triple pleasure. 2 extra heads but only 1 body. How exciting. And I, against my will, am briefly tempted on the human analog. Shark Eagle bares her fangs and threatens to make him practice the sunflower manual, which when asked she explains means castrate yourself, then opens her mouth and bites a fierce chunk out of the raft for emphasis. Shark Arm freezes. I, an innocent bystander, am unamused and threaten to marry them off and livestream the reproducing, at which Shark Arm brightens and Shark Eagle wails and drapes herself against me, offering her body and mind to Master personally, rather than to this pervert. A proposition that gives me goosebumps. I'd rather sleep with a cat or a dog. I wave her off and drag Jiao Jiao back to the point. Jiao Jiao clears her throat and clarifies. After eating an elemental pearl, Shark Eagle will not turn into a multi-headed shark. Mutant sea beasts are divided into 2 types, gene mutants and elemental mutants. Gene mutants are those whose genes or cells have changed, like the double-headed Jiao Shark or the 3-headed frenzy shark. Elemental mutants are ordinary sea beasts that gain the ability to control elements, like the blazing mad shark lurking near Yusion. They are the superpowered individuals of the sea. Beasts with both are called hybrid mutants, and are extremely rare. The elemental pearl causes only elemental mutation, so Shark Eagle would gain control over some element, not a second head. Shark Eagle exhales like a hostage released. Shark Arm, for his part, mourns the shattered dream of 1 body and triple happiness.